Welcome back, guys. This is going to be Nada versus Goodfriend, and very excited for this map. This is the losers match of the MSL round of 32, Group E. And you can see Nada is the brown Terran at the bottom right, and Goodfriend at the top left as the red Terran. Really excited for this game. These two players are very good, and Nada is now yellow. Goodfriend's still red. Very excited for this match. It's going to be Terran versus Terran on the map Tiamat. And Tiamat is a very interesting map. For both these players, I think they're both very nice players, but then again, they're both definitely way past their prime. So really depends on how they're going to play. But I think it'll still come out as a fun game overall. What's really interesting about these players is, well, I think personally, Nada's just. I think he's going to be the favorite to win here because he's won 3 MSLs, 3 OSLs, and generally, from what we've seen, whenever someone wins 3 MSLs, they immediately start going on a huge slump. So, very strange. It's one of these MSL curses, and it's just something that is to note here. And after that, they just disappear forever. So we'll see if Nada will be the first to break this curse. And right now we see an early SCV coming out for Goodfriend. And I don't know what this SCV is trying to do. It's a very early scout. It's a very early thing for a scout. Maybe scouting for a proxy, but not quite sure. It could be doing a proxy itself. But then again, as I said during the Lucifer versus Bisu game, or whatever game that was, Lucifer. Oh, not that game. Just kidding, guys. That was the Huasin versus Frozen game. Proxies have a very limited window of opportunity, and you can see a barracks and a refinery is also being made in Goodfriend's base right now. So not quite sure what Goodfriend was doing there. He did delay his barracks and his refinery a little bit. Nada was able to get a little bit of a faster barracks and refinery, and in turn he'll be able to get a faster vulture as well as a faster factory. So I don't know what Goodfriend did there. Very early scout, and it really delayed him quite a bit. Especially in mirror matchups, you really have to realize that mirror matches, since you're playing the same race, small mistakes add up very quickly. And that's what I think about is so interesting about these kinds of matchups. For Terran versus Terran, you definitely need to have great mechanics, which is the downfall of this. To play this matchup, you need to have amazing mechanics, or else it'll be very hard to enact what you feel like you want to do. But the great thing about mirror matchups, especially Terran vs. Terran, is Terran vs. Terran is totally about strategy and tactical positioning and planning. So that's why people use dropships to get a better position than their enemy. It's a really good matchup, I think. So I don't know why people find it boring. I think it's really intense. I don't know why people find it dull, but I think it's a very exciting matchup and intense. And because your opponent is the exact same race, small mistakes are so crucial. So that's what I think is very good about these kind of matchups. So Goodfriend here, he's delayed by quite a bit, and I did not realize at all how much one scouting SCV that early would delay him. You can see Goodfriend kind of being a little weird. He's had some idle SCVs very often. You can see another one right there. He's been having his SCVs coming out of his command center idle for 2 or 3 seconds, which is a pretty big time, especially when you're only off one base. You should not be having idle SCVs at all. So very strange there. We see that Nada is getting his expansion, so Nada is definitely very ahead right now. Goodfriend is getting a very delayed. He's getting a machine shot before vulture, where Nada decided to get a vulture and expansion. So looks like the command center going down. Yep, command center going down right now. So if you notice, it's just terrible situation for Goodfriend right now. We have not seen any conflicts at all. Nothing has happened really in this game, but already Goodfriend is behind by a fair amount. You can see not as his command center is almost done, whereas Goodfriend's is not even halfway done. So just very small mistakes can cost you the game. I think that Shark, he is in the next game, and he's going to play the winner of this match. So I think he's definitely rooting for the Goodfriend to win this. He does not want Nada to win this because I think since he did beat Goodfriend, although he did not beat him convincingly, it's all about mindset, because he knows he's beaten Goodfriend. He knows he can probably do it again, and it's all about going into the game with that mindset and that confidence. So I really think that Goodfriend is who Shark is rooting for right now, because then Shark may have a better chance at getting to the round of 16. And if Nada comes successful, I don't know how Shark will feel, because he has not played Nada yet, and he just he won't have the same mindset that he would had he been playing a Goodfriend. So Shark definitely going to be rooting for Nada here. I mean Goodfriend here. Second refinery going up, and the command center is still not even done. Still not even positioned for Goodfriend right now. So Goodfriend definitely not in a very good situation. Just as I've been saying, he's behind already with nothing happening. So the second factory is now up, and armory is also going up right now. This base is still not saturated, but Nada is looking to move out right now with 2 tanks and a few vultures. Barracks right over here at the cliff, so we'll be able to get some vision, see when Goodfriend moves out. Third factory being created right now, and you can see Goodfriend actually canceled his machine shop. While Nada actually has 2 machine shops, but only 2 factories, and Goodfriend getting his 3rd factory as well as another machine shop. So we may be seeing some mass vultures right here, which is a very good counter, because you'll just be able to mass tons of mines. And these tanks are retreating. 1 tank goes down. That was a pretty crucial tank, and Nada has not yet done any damage, so Goodfriend may be able to do a pretty nice push here and kill off a couple of tanks. 2 more tanks coming into position over here. It looks like they're going to get ready to siege once the upgrade is finished. And then if he catches Goodfriend off surprise, he'll be able to kill a couple of units. He's killed 2 vultures so far at the cost of 1 tank, and we'll see how this happens. Nada is still retreating, trying to get some better positioning. 2 mines are being laid right now. Vultures have speed and mines, and those tanks got to get out of there, or else those mines will blow him up. Good job getting those tanks out here. Siege is now done, but there's a lot of vultures, and these vultures are going to lay spider mines right next to the tank. 1 spider mine goes down, and Goodfriend took out a surprisingly large amount of tanks right there. Especially with those mines, and he just caught Nada off guard. Looks like Nada's expanding to the top right, though, so as long as he can hold, he'll definitely have an advantage. 1 vulture inside doing a little bit of harassment, pretty good so far, and Nada losing a few more units, careless marines, and +1 going up for Nada right now. So Goodfriend actually did pretty well in that attack. He's sending 1 tank to pick off that pesky vulture, and I'm really surprised, because definitely vultures are a very nice choice, just because if you catch the enemy off guard when they're not sieged, when they're not in a good position, laying a few mines around everywhere is really going to hurt them a lot. So that's why lots of vultures are very powerful, and even if they are in position, mines can do a lot of damage anyways. So mines being planted takes out 1 tank, basically just gonna prevent Nada from being able to get out of his base. But it doesn't matter too much anyways, because if Nada is able to get out that 3rd expansion, he'll be able to break out eventually. So another 4th factory being added for Goodfriend. Goodfriend also getting his bottom left. So Goodfriend's actually in a pretty good position right now. In the beginning, he just was behind by his own fault, but so far he's been playing pretty solidly right now. Mass vultures are very good. One of the only viable early game counters to mass vultures is to go Goliaths, just because Goliaths have such a fast rate of fire that they'll be able to kill the mines right as they pop up, as well as not taking as much damage from vultures. And I think that those mines did see the SCV transfer to the top right, so that's going to be pretty bad for Nada, because if Goodfriend knows that expansion's there, he's going to be able to take it out very easily, because it'll be so hard to reinforce there. 2 more factories being added right now for Nada. Nada's also got a Wraith out, going to be able to get a little bit of scouting, as well as do a little bit of harassing. Cleaning off this barracks will just be annoying, because Goodfriend will have to make another barracks to make more factories. So at this point, Nada's just going to try and macro up, getting his control tower right now so he can get some dropships, and then he'll be able to get a good enough position so he can reinforce this expansion as well as do damage. Those vultures killing off that side disruptor, and once it kills it, they'll be able to harass that expansion. Nada also knows this expansion down here is finished, so he's going to try and harass it, and a couple of reinforcements going in here for Nada. That side disruptor has tons of health. It looks like I think it has 200 or 2,000. So definitely a lot more health than